Hey folks, Gary here. Happy Thursday morning to you. Man, I hope your day started off fantastic. What a great day to be alive. Every day we walk with God is such a good day. It truly is. Now, we've been talking about being imitators of Christ, following his example and doing what he's called us to do, and how Jesus himself was what he revealed who the Father was to us, and we can be a revelation of who God is to those around us by the way we live. Jesus did it by the way he lived, through his obedience to his Father in heaven and through his relationship with his Father in heaven. He was an example to us, and of course Paul tells us, hey, you too, you be an example. You be an imitator of Jesus, and you be an example to those around you. And so we know that Jesus was obedient to his Father up into the cross. We talked about that yesterday, well, Monday and Tuesday as well. He was obedient to the Father. Now, here's the thing. If we're going to be obedient to God, if we're going to follow God's will, and sometimes God may ask us crazy things, if we're going to follow his will, you want to make sure you know his will, right? You want to make sure that you have had, an impression from God. I think I should do this. It's a pretty strong impression. You want to know that, right? You don't want to just simply go, let's go try this. I mean, you could do that, and it might be successful, and it might not be successful. But it's helpful if you know his will. If you know the will of God, you know the will he has for you. Now, how can you know his will? Well, here's what Jesus would do. So remember, we're following the example of Jesus. And so in Mark 1, 35 to 38, it says this. Before daybreak the next morning, Jesus got up. He went out to an isolated place to pray. So he went to a place where there was nobody else. I think that's one of the key secrets. I mean, you can pray with others, and you should pray for others. As a church, we pray every second Wednesday. We get together and we pray. We pray over the area. We pray over the church. We pray over anything that God puts on our minds. So that's every second Wednesday evening we do that. It's good to pray together as a group, for sure it is. But it's also really valuable to find an isolated place and just get alone with God and spend time in prayer. So before daybreak the next morning, Jesus got up and went out to an isolated place to pray. Later, Simon and the others went out to find him. When they found him, they said, "Everyone is looking for you." But Jesus replied, "We must go to other towns as well, and I will preach to them too. This is why I came. That is why I came." So everyone is looking for... Jesus hasn't gone, "Hey, I'm going to go out and pray now, all you guys." He didn't announce it. He didn't make it big. He just simply went to some place that was isolated where no one knew. They didn't even know where he was. They couldn't find him. Now, I think you should probably, let your wife know where you are, or your husband, or whatever. Don't get too crazy with that. But he went to some place where he knew he was going to be alone. And from what I read from this, he spent a fair bit of time there. Enough time that everyone went looking for him. They're like, I don't know where he is. So it wasn't a couple minutes. It was a fair amount of time that he spent with God, alone with him. And what I love about this is when they say, "Hey, we've been looking for you," his answer to them isn't, "Oh man, I'm sorry I worried you," or anything like that. His answer is, "I know what we're doing next. We're going to other towns. I know what we're going to do." He knew the will of the Father. He knew God's will. He was obedient to it, but he knew it. He must have had some impression, or God spoke to him, or whatever it might be, but he knew the will of God after he spent time with God. And I think that's the secret. You want to know the will of God? Spend time with God, and you'll know. So that's the message for this morning. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you later. Have a great, awesome day. Goodbye.